to see something. You about to see something. It's coming, it's coming. We're unstoppable now. Ain't nothing gonna take us down. We're unstoppable now.
Hey guys, Rocco here. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Autel Evo, my brand new drone. It's a great drone, really love it. Does a lot of great things. So without any further ado, let's get into a little unboxing of this drone, and then we'll do a little flight test outside. So the drone came inside this really nice box. It was pretty tightly packed, but inside was the controller, and then the drone, and a bunch of extra propellers, and then there was some little sticky stuff on the drone, like the packaging stuff, you know, with that nice and that has the gimbal protector, everything, you know, just the general drone setup. And yeah, there's the cables and everything in that other box. And yeah, it was a pretty nice, pretty fast unboxing of that. And I had the combo pack, so I got 2 extra batteries and a nice carrying case, which I probably won't use that much. About to fly the Autel Evo for the first time. Already a really fast connection, and looks like an awesome drone. So I'm excited to fly it. Let's go over here so we're in the shade. So now we're going to take the drone backwards and up. Oh my gosh, it's fast. It is fast. Alright, so signal isn't as good as I thought it would be. It cut out about a mile away, which is, well, not even a mile, but I mean, I was like right behind a tree, and the tree must have like stopped the, I also wasn't pointing the controller at the drone. What is here now? It's going to land. Alright, so the Autel Evo is a very good drone, and it caught my eye about a few months ago when I was looking through new drones, because my old DJI Spark wasn't really cutting it for me anymore. It was starting to just lose that like touch of like the good range. Like, it was just all kind of wearing out for me, and I was kind of getting tired of DJI's customer service and how bad it was for me. So I saw lots of ads and stuff for the Evo, and I was like, well, I might as well save up for it. So through many real estate jobs and videography jobs and stuff like that, I got enough money to purchase the drone, and here it is. I got a really good deal at Best Buy where I got the drone, the controller, and then I got the, I think it's the combo pack where it comes with 2 extra batteries and this little pouch for about $1,000. It usually would be 1,200 something bucks, but with that special deal that they were having at Best Buy, I was able to get it all for $1,000. So, really good. I love it a lot. It just gets really nice with the smooth shots. Build quality is very good. It feels sturdy in the hand. I mean, it's not like you can't like squeeze it and break it. Sometimes I feel like with the Spark, even though it was a pretty strong drone, it was tiny and you could feel like you could break it. The part that I'm most concerned with about the build quality or just the design of the drone is this gimbal protector. It's really weird, and sometimes like when I try to take it off, like I feel like I'm going to break the gimbal, which isn't something that you want to do when you're taking off a gimbal protector. So, I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's good, but sometimes it is a little awkward to put back on too. So, I mean, it is what it is. It works properly, and that's what matters. So yeah. It's still a good functioning piece of the drone. It doesn't hinder it in any way, but I feel like it is a little rickety and sometimes might break my gimbal, but it hasn't done that, and I don't think it has done that for anyone else either. So next, I just want to talk about the camera. So the camera is can do 4K 60, which no DJI drone can do anymore. Besides, say for the Inspire 2 and that other stuff that people who say, oh, Mavic 2 Pro is better. It has, oh no, all this stuff. I'm like, well, it doesn't have 4K 60. This drone does 4K 60 for $500 less. And with the discontinuation of the Phantom 4 Pro, like, they don't make that anymore. It's hard to get. You can still get it, but it's hard, and it's $500 more than this. And if you really just want 4K 60, this is like the perfect option. 4K 60 is super useful. You can get that high frame rate, so it looks buttery smooth. Just when you're flying, it's super smooth, and then you can slow it down, right? So 4K 60 means you can go slow motion in 4K without like losing resolution or anything. And since 4K is a high resolution, you can zoom in, so you can punch in and do slow motion. Like if you were like chasing something or like doing some kind of following shot, you could have the slow motion and crop in too, so you won't lose any quality. And that's just awesome. I mean, really no other drone can do that for like the price. And like the Mavic Pro is around the same price as this one, the original Mavic Pro. Original Mavic Pro doesn't even shoot 100 megabits per second. This thing does 100 megabits per second. The Mavic Pro and the DJI Spark will shoot in 80 megabits per second. This drone shoots in 100 megabits per second, 4K 60, which is a very large file size, and they do give you a 32 gigabyte really high write speed SD card, and you want to make sure you have that SD card. It has like the U on it, like if it's the SanDisk, it's the Ultra or whatever, and that one can write fast enough. I have one in here that barely makes the cut. It's a SanDisk 64 gig. It was what was in my Spark before. It works fine. However, I was talking with the Autel support, and they say it might lead to drop frames, so I will eventually have to just switch it out with a different SD card too. When you're shooting in 4K 60, you fill this thing up fast. It fills up super fast. And if it has another mode where you can shoot in H.265, which is a much higher quality codec than H.264, but it's not like noticeable, like the quality, it's just the file size is much larger. H.265 is good for like advanced color grading and stuff like that, but you also have a built-in log mode where it makes a flat color profile, and you can, from the original flat color profile, you can put in several different color grades without like really destroying the quality of the image, and it's a really useful feature to have in the drone. When you have H.265 on and that, it'll make it even better. I mean, you can really push the colors on this drone even without the log profile. That's the camera. It does a lot of things. It can do 1080p at 120, which is, I believe, what the Mavic 2 can do as well. But I mean, I don't have a Mavic 2 to compare it to, but I'd say it's just as good, if not better. Yeah, this drone just has an amazing value for the camera, and you get what you pay for. I mean, like, it's worth that $1,000 just for the camera alone. And that's not even all the features it has. There's probably other features I've brushed over, and really I think the camera is definitely worth the price. And I tried it out in low light. I was taking videos of fireworks on the 4th of July. Pretty nice, however, you can't really boost the ISO too high, otherwise you will introduce grain. I mean, on most drones, basically all drones that don't have wet-end sensors like the Mavic 2 Pro, even on there you'll have grain, because the sensors you can put on drones are only so large, and then the aperture can only be so low, or it's fixed. Like most drones, this drone has a fixed aperture. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad for low light. It's pretty good. And when you're shooting fireworks, I mean, the fireworks are the highlight of your footage, and I mean, you can't really light up everything. So yeah, I mean, it shoots fine in low light, but it's not the greatest. But that might just be the only area where the camera kind of falls under a bit. But other than that, it shoots amazing video, and probably on par, if not better than the Mavic 2 Zoom. So the controller, this controller is pretty sturdy. I mean, it has basically the same like build quality. Like the style is the same kind of, like, I mean, like the glossy like front where it's like nice and smooth, and then you got just the orange high like tints on there and stuff like that. I really like these things, and I really do prefer my phone to be up here rather than down here. I mean, the grips make it so much easier to hold the controller, and yeah, it just functions really well, and there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, just this has a built-in monitor, which I don't think any other drone for the price has a built-in monitor which can show the video feed on there. It's not touchscreen, but you do have the built-in monitor. And if your like phone or something like dies or something happens to it while you're flying, you can just click this button here, and then this feed will pop up on there. And then when you don't have the feed up on there, you get like the readouts like altitude, battery life, and gimbal pitch angle and stuff like that too. So yeah, it's pretty useful. I mean, it's probably one of the better controllers I've just felt. I mean, it feels nice in the hand. It's light. Only complaint I really have about the controller is this little phone holster. It has these little rubbery things on the inside that help hold their phone. But when you have a bigger phone like mine and you stuff it in there, these rubbery things, they're stuck on with like some kind of glue or sticky stuff or something like that. And this one has come out like several times and just comes out. So I would have to take my case off, which is a long and lengthy process, just to fly better. So yeah, oh yeah, and this thing, when you're charging it, it has like a fan inside of it. The fan's super loud, but I mean, it's not a big deal. But yeah, just that little everything. If you have a massive phone case or something, like a big bulky one, you might not like that too much. But I mean, I think I just had it in wrong or something and dislodged it. I'm sure you could put it back on with a bit of glue and it sticks still, so that's good. Yeah, so the controller has return to home, regular power, landing, and all these other things that you would see in a DJI drone. Return to home is almost exactly the same as a DJI drone. Like, it works the exact same way. You press the button, it comes home. If you lose signal, it comes home. However, when it does tell you to come home, you shouldn't ignore that. I ignored it the other day when I was flying, and I thought, why does it need to come home at 5 minutes? I mean, it was several thousand feet away, so that might have been why, but this thing can fly for 30 minutes, so I was like, 5 minutes is a good amount of time. It can go fast, too, so you can get back here nice and fast, I thought. Or not, because at 3 minutes, I decided to return to home, because that sounds like I wasn't that far away. And I started coming back, right, and then it just stops at like 2 minutes, and it's like, oh, time to land. It started landing right where it was, and it was still about 800 feet away from where I was. So I couldn't make it go up anymore. So I had to push the stick forward and hope that it came in just in time to land in front of me. And it did. However, it was a kind of sketchy situation. I just don't ignore the return to home protocol on the drone. It functions the same as a DJI though, so that's what's good. Just like DJI drones, this drone has several intelligent flight modes. I think it's got orbit, got waypoints. I've used the waypoints a few times. It's pretty useful, and you can like make hyperlapses and stuff with that too, and the intervals for the shooting photos and stuff like that. So yeah, it works pretty well, and yeah, it just overall works really nicely. However, there is a bit of, when you use on the orbit mode, there is a bit of like jerkiness. I don't use the intelligent flight modes. I've only used it like to see what it does, and I mean, it's fine. The active tracking is much smoother than a DJI drone. Like, I'm sorry, but the active tracking is way better. Like, it just follows so smoothly. DJI like jerks around when you're doing that. I'm like, well, like my Spark would do that. Even like the 3-axis gimbal drones from DJI, they will jerk around. This one's just nice and smooth. It doesn't follow you up or down, which is a little weird, but I mean, it's not a big deal since I just don't use intelligent flight modes. I just do it myself. I mean, that's the whole point of like having a drone, flying it yourself, you know? That's kind of what I like to do. So, I mean, for people like me, that's not a big deal, having not as many flight modes, but some people might want more, and that's where this thing kind of falls short, but they're not bad. They just, they work well, and that's what matters. Yeah, so let's talk about the photos on this drone. The photos look really, really good. I think it's 12 megapixels, pretty high quality. It's a 94-degree field of view, and you get that in, you kind of crop in for video a bit, because I don't know why, just the video aspect ratio or something, you crop in, which you don't get that much of a crop. It's just the 4K crop, the usual one, same as any other drone. But when you take photos, it's super wide, it's super useful. There's no barrel distortion either, which is a little weird because I've used the Mavic Air, and the Mavic Air has like an 84 degrees, I don't know what the field of view is, but I was seeing barrel distortion on the edges. I'm like, why is there barrel distortion? It's not even that wide. On this thing, it's way wider than the Mavic Air, and it has none. I was just like kind of surprised. I thought there would be barrel distortion on this. However, when you go fast with this thing, the propellers will get in your shots just because how wide the camera is. So I don't exactly always put the gimbal up to 0 degrees to make it level. And it's so wide that you don't even know it's at like 11 degrees. Like 11 degrees almost looks exactly like 0. Now if I am going backwards, I can, because when you're going backwards, the props don't get in your shot. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, props in your shot. I mean, if you have the right shutter speed, then you could probably get rid of it too in post or something. I'm just too lazy to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. When you are going fast, you might want to point your gimbal down a bit more though. When trying to travel with the drone, it is very compact and easy to travel with. I can easily just put it in my bag and take it out, unfold it, just unfold the controller too. It works really well when traveling and stuff like that. I biked 30 miles with this thing in my backpack completely fine. It was pretty good. So yeah, I mean, traveling with the drone, I mean, it's really useful to have a folding drone. That's another reason why I bought it. So, I mean, it does have front and backwards obstacle sensing. The front one works as it should. It will stop the drone if it sees something and move around it too, if it can. But the back ones, like, they don't function at all. Like, they tell you that there's something there, but they don't stop you. And I don't know if it's like just a software thing or something like that, but they just won't stop you if you're going backwards. And I kind of think that they should, maybe it's just a glitch or something, but they should probably have it so it should stop you. Also, if you're watching this, I would just make it so these, the ones on the rear would stop you if it sees something, or at least have the option to have that turned on. I mean, it will alert you on the bottom, like, if it sees something, but I don't always see that, so yeah, just appreciate to have it on. Otherwise, it's kind of useless to have on the drone. But yeah, these ones work great, just the drone, and yeah, works well. Just these ones need to be activated or something like that. Yeah, so other than that, I mean, I'd say that Autel, like company themselves, like I called in for customer support, like because I was having a few weird problems with this, which they fixed. Like it was super amazing. They actually knew what they were talking about. Like the support people, like they know everything about this drone. And unlike DJI, like when I had my DJI Spark, I was like calling them, asking like, so what is, like, my drone's having this weird problem. They're like, we don't know. Well, let me get somebody else who might know. And then it was really, they were never really helpful at DJI. But Autel, man, like, they've got geniuses over there. I mean, comparatively to me, who knows nothing about this drone, like, the technical aspects of it, other than how to fly it, because it is pretty similar to a DJI drone. It doesn't fly that differently. They're just really nice. They're nice too. They're like nice. They were courteous. They knew what they were talking about. Yeah, just everything about like my experience with Autel has been super great, and they're super friendly on their Instagram page too. And yeah, it's a really good experience as a customer with Autel. Autel does make many accessories for this drone, such as this bag and a battery charger and all those other things. I haven't bought those yet. I probably might buy them eventually. But this was a big investment. I don't really have much money left over from that. But if I do buy those, I'll be sure to review those as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Rocco. If you would like to buy this drone, I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link in the description. No extra cost to you, just I get 5% cash back from that. Yeah, so thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.